episode 4 of the Deus Ex Cinema podcast. It's our second roundtable. I'm your host, Arron. Across the table from me is the venereal disease himself, Marty Adams.
It is me.
And to my left is the shining beacon of depression, Sureyya.
Hello.
Properly wrapped.
So I guess if you haven't checked out our other 3 episodes, on our roundtables, we each bring a topic and then talk about them. And then next week, at the end of this episode, we'll be revealing Sureyya's pick for our first science fiction rotation of movies. And then next week, we'll talk about that in depth. So I guess I'll go first. I want to talk about the fucking stupid-ass Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
What? That's your topic you're
Yes,
going for?
yes it is. Because who the fuck is that for?
Everyone?
The company.
Who
The
cares?
children.
No. What child has ever wanted to watch the Macy's fucking Thanksgiving Parade?
I remember being dragged to parades as a kid and I hated it.
Right?
Even the
It's
school
garbage.
ones, I'm like, wow, I can watch fucking fire trucks go by and this is just balloons of fucking...
Yeah, and at least with real parades, like you're there. You know, so you get to throw out candy, you get to hear the sirens.
Well, and it's a local thing.
Yeah.
You know, like...
You go to the Macy's one, and it's just big fucking balloons, B or C rate fucking artists that nobody gives a shit about. And what kid wants to sit there and watch the fucking thing for 2.5 hours?
Lots of sponsors.
Let it be known that Sureyya is raising her hand.
What did you like about the Macy's Day Parade?
I don't know. It's magical.
Why? What's magical about it?
Big balloons.
Who the fuck cares?
I like big balloons.
But you're not even there. You're just watching it on TV.
Still like big balloons.
You could go to Google Images and type in big balloons and get so much more enjoyment.
I just like watch past years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I refuse to believe it's for the children. Because no child at a family Thanksgiving party is going to want to sit there and watch fucking big balloons.
I feel like it's more of like a middle-aged person.
I'm going to say it's even elderly. I think it's for the
Elderly
fucking
people.
grandmas that are sitting on the couches with nothing to do.
But watch infomercials and parades.
Exactly. Because all the middle-aged people are making the fucking food.
But it's, Macy's Day. Great. Right? Why? Like, what's so special about that? Would they
Right.
sponsored it?
Pretty much.
That's
They
it.
fucking rented out 10 blocks in New York so they could fucking do the thing.
America.
They really have big crowds that come still.
You know what? Those crowds are probably paid for. Those are probably actors.
Okay. Okay, Rush.
I guess, though, tangentially related to that, we could also just discuss stupid fucking holiday traditions that nobody cares about.
Well, like...
Yuletide logs.
The fuck are those?
They're the logs that they're... Shut up.
No, wait, what is
That's
it?
the thing.
I've heard it, but like, what? I don't know what it is. Like, is it an actual log?
I think so. Let's look it up, shall
Look
we?
it up on the laptop.
Earphones?
You're right on the laptop.
I was just
But
gonna say,
it's
as I
gonna-
get older, like I was thinking about that yesterday. I saw a bunch of people with Christmas trees on their cars,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I just haven't had the energy to celebrate any holidays the last couple of years. It's gotten less and less. Back in like my apartment in Whitewater, I decorated it with Christmas lights all around it, but then I just left them for the rest of the year because they were good ambient lighting.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
like, I just don't care anymore. It's kind of sad.
I mean, I think it's worth saying and pointing out that we did more time and effort in decorating our Sims apartment for our YouTube series than we have for any holiday at our actual apartment.
Yeah, I mean, what do we got for decorations? We got Spyro.
We got Spyro, we got an assortment of video game and movie art books, and we have Halloween towels, and it is the second to last week of November.
And a deflated pumpkin with a bat carved
I mean,
into
it makes
it.
Deflated pumpkin.
At my parents' house, we have little like red ribbons and stuff, and like a jingle bell wreath hung up. It's been there for like 8 years. Like there's Christmas decorations that are just part of our normal decor now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like when I was growing up, my mom was super into holidays and especially Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always every time like there's designated first days of seasons,
Right.
where we'd pull out 6 to 7 Tupperware containers from down in the basement, and then just the whole fucking house would change. It was the most obnoxious fucking thing in my life as a kid. I hated it.
Well, See, like when I was a kid, like it started out, we were really enthusiastic about fucking everything, especially Halloween.
Yeah.
Like we had a full like graveyard that we handmade out in the backyard. We would make like bodies and shit.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it was the whole place. We'd have big parties. It was great. And then like Christmas, I used to kind of like decorating the tree, but as I got older, I got real lazy, and I'm like, I just don't want to. And then like from there, it was just a slow downhill until now we don't do anything ever.
Well, I feel like there's only 2 levels, right? Like either you do get super fucking into it to make it worth it, or you just don't do it at all, because otherwise it's just annoying. Yeah. Did you look up a Yuletide log?
Okay, it's called the Yule log. I just threw in Tide.
This is a Tide ad.
Eat Tide Pods.
So
Fucks.
it's actually not really big here, but it's super big in Europe apparently. It is a specially selected log burnt on a hearth as a Christmas tradition.
It's just a log?
Just a specially selected log.
It's fucking stupid.
A special piece of wood.
Fuck you, Europe. Just kidding, actually. I much enjoyed Europe.
There's other ones such as a Yule boar.
You light a boar on fire?
You probably eat it. It says. This
I
is
could get behind a
Wikipedia
boar.
talking.
I could get behind a boar. A log is a little pointless to me.
This Rico's literally throwing her shit in the background.
According to Wikipedia, the Yule log symbolizes the battle between good and evil.
How? Who the fuck?
Quote,
What
here,
fucking?
here,
What fucking? Hold on. What fucking snake oil salesman was going through a small European village during Christmas time? Had nothing to sell, so he was like, "This is a special Yule log. It's a tradition for Christmas. It represents good and evil." When it's just a fucking log.
It was probably more along back in the days when people like only had logs.
They just gifted each other logs.
Here's what Wikipedia.
They did Secret Santa. Everybody got a log.
Sweet.
Here's what Wikipedia states. Quote, as the fire grew brighter and burned hotter, and as the log turned into ashes, it symbolized Christ's final and ultimate triumph over sin. Unquote.
What does that have to do with good and evil?
Because Jesus is good and sin is bad, Aaron.
Oh, God!
This is also Germanic paganism.
It's making more sense now.
This is just all over the fucking place. Oh my God. Fuck Yule logs.
I don't know. I like the tradition in Germany where people dress up as like fucking horrible monsters and go scare the shit out of kids.
I would love to see that
my
in
favorite.
person.
Did you see that when you were in Germany at all?
No, I was there in the wrong part of the city.
Wait, there is a, you know how there's like a little, like, table of contents?
Yeah.
There's one called Ashen Faggot.
You're mature.
Ashen! Let me see what it is. Ashen
This is the
Faggot.
only episode we'll ever be able to say faggot.
Let's get as much out of these faggots as we can.
Oh,
We're not going to have any subscribers.
I guess
It's okay, we don't.
I guess it's
We got Macy.
basically a synonym for Yule log. The ashen faggot is burnt on Christmas Eve, is associated with a variety of folk beliefs, and is made of similar ash sticks bound into a faggot with strips of hazel, withy, or bramble.
Well, because that's what a faggot originally was, right? It was a bundle of sticks. Or I think doesn't Europe use it for a cigarette? Don't they call cigarettes faggots in like Britain?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I went to Britain once, but I was like 3.
You didn't just hear everyone talking about faggots?
I just wanted to talk about, speaking of Ash and faggots, I wanted to talk about Ash in Overwatch. And how much she pisses me off and makes me not like the game.
Really? Why does she piss you off so bad?
Like, it's just, I feel like she's way too strong. Because like every single game, someone picks Ash, and then it seems like the entire game is just trying to avoid her bullshit.
Bob, do something!
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Bob, for sure. But I think one counterpoint I would have to this, because you're relatively new to Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
Is this your first hero release?
No, there's Hammond.
Okay. Because this happens a lot. Whenever, when Brigitte came out, when Moira came out, when Anna came out, I haven't drawn a blank on some of the new post-release heroes. When Orisa came out, Doomfist. When like it's always you always get a solid month of them just constantly being picked, and it takes a lot of time for everyone to figure out how to counter them.
Right.
Especially when you're playing like we do, where it's a lot of quick play and a lot of uncoordinated comp.
Yeah, but the problem, that's the problem right now is like you can't. It's hard to take the game seriously when people are totally willing to abandon a good like team comp.
Yeah.
You know, just so they can pick Ash.
Yeah.
You know, like it'll be a situation totally inappropriate for her, and they'll still do it just because they want to.
Yep.
You know, like even in comp, it was kind of like that.
Which is what I do like how they have the hero lock in comp, where it has to be out for like 2 or 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Before people can start using them.
But yeah, it kind of comes down to, it seems like her crowd control is just way too strong right now.
Yeah.
Like, between Bob, which if he shows up, you just have to fucking hide and wait.
Fuck Bob, dude.
You can't even kill him without him just auto-targeting your
He's
face.
so infuriated. And the worst thing is, like, I play Anna quite a bit for us. And every time I sleep dart the motherfucker, someone just hits him and wakes him up. And it's like, if you just leave him slept,
He would just disappear.
by the time he gets up, he'll be gone. And that's not an issue.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the bullshit part, because you hear, fucking Bob show up, and you can't do anything. You just have to hide.
Yep.
You know, and just wait.
Yeah.
And then, so, not only is that annoying as fuck, her grenades, or her dynamite lights you on fire, and that seems like it lasts forever.
So fucking
I've been
long.
at, like, half health and stuff, and just watch it just keep going. I'm not getting shot, I'm just sitting there, like, it's hiding in a building or something, and it just keeps going down to 0, and I die.
Yep.
It's like, okay, I get it, I'm on fire, I want it to do a little bit of damage,
Yeah.
try to dissuade you from getting hit, but like, holy shit. I feel like all she has to do is just drop a TNT in the middle of a like team, and all of them are fucked.
Yeah.
Which I like the idea of it, but it's just like, I don't know, her crowd control is way too strong right now.
Yeah, which is especially frustrating because that's really where Overwatch has been kind of going to, and it's just not fun to play against. Like when you're going against a team that's like fucking May, McCree, and Brigitte, Roadhog, where it's all this shit that you just can't stop once it gets you. It's just so fucking awful. And you get stun locked, where like you'll be full health and then you can't move for 5 seconds, and in that 5 seconds you're wiped.
And Widow's been bad enough is just getting hit from across the map.
Yeah.
But now it's
Widow.
like there's basically just a faster Widowmaker,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
So, because now they can double up on that, being up on 2 different points, and
And throw a Hanzo in.
it's just obnoxious to play against.
Yeah, no, I feel it, man. What do you think of Ash, Sureyya?
I don't know. I haven't really played as her. I've let you guys take control on that point.
I will say she's not very fun to play against, but she is really fucking fun to play as.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's because she's so strong right now.
Yeah, I mean definitely.
Well, that's like usually how every new hero gets released, though. They're always super strong, and then they
Nerf the fuck out of them.
nerf the fuck out of them. And then further down the line, it's like they even everything out.
Yeah.
They did that with Torb, and Torb was one of the first ones to come
See,
out.
and I like Torb.
Torb was a
Original.
base character.
Yeah, original. That's what
Okay.
I was trying to say.
Oh, okay.
One of the originals to come out.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's still pretty strong.
Well, I think we should say we do play on Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
And it is very widely regarded that Torb is much stronger on console than he is on PC.
What?
And I think Overwatch is first and foremost a PC game. It's very PC focused. Not only because it's made by Blizzard, who until Diablo Immortal was a PC company, but also because that's where they have esports. That's where they have the bigger market share. Like it's very PC focused. I mean, look at Widowmaker. Like Widowmaker kind of fucking sucks on console. I mean, you'll get someone who's like crazy good at her every once in a while, but she's much better on PC because you can aim better on PC. And for her, it's all about clicking heads.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, going against a Widowmaker on console isn't too bad because of that. Where she'll still fuck you up if you're like in line of sight and so far away you can't do anything about it. But like, Ash is so much faster.
Yeah.
That she can do the same thing. And if you're fairly good at it, it seems like easier to aim with her.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to be precise.
It seems like it has at least a little bit more aim assist than Widowmaker would.
Yeah, maybe like I don't know if her projectiles are a little bit bigger or what, but
yeah,
I don't know. It seems if they could make it so it was a little more comparable to Widow, I feel like it would be okay.
Yeah.
just take it down a slight notch. Like, not enough where it makes it so she's like unusable in close quarters, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's basically like having 2 widows, and one of them can get right in your face this time.
And then summon a tank that deals a fuck ton of damage and takes forever to kill.
I do think Bob has way too much health.
Yeah, my problem with Bob is I'm torn on it because if he doesn't have a shit ton of health, he's useless. Mm-hmm. But at the same time,
having that much health fucks everyone up.
He's really hard to counter.
What I'd rather have is have him have a lot of health, kind of like he does, maybe if not more, but then just nerf his damage a lot. So that way it's like, you're not going to be dead immediately like you are now if you're within his line of sight, but enough where you want to take the time to try and avoid him. Yeah. Where I don't think he should be able to just like kill you from full health down to nothing, but it should be enough to like weaken you and just kind of weaken the team a little bit. Yeah. Because I mean that way you still get the crowd control, but it's not like a team wipe. Yeah. But. Yeah,
I don't know. It's tough. Game design's tough.
Yeah, I know. It's been really annoying since Ash came out.
I guess the other thing too is I'd be curious to get your guys' thought on the discussion that's been happening around Overwatch of the bannable heroes in each match, kind of like how they do with MOBAs. So start of the match, each team could vote to ban one hero. So each match you'd only be able to pick 27 heroes instead of 29 because you'd be able to ban one each team.
I don't know. I don't really like that, to be honest with you, because I mean, like, I play the game because I want to. Like, as much as I bitch about people picking Ash all the time, like, that's part of the thing. If they want to do it, they should be able to do it. Yeah. And I think it would be annoying as fuck if, like, just for fun, you're trying to get better at a character or whatever, and then someone bans you. Yeah.
That's right. I think the only way I'd like to see it implemented would be in competitive, so that you could still go to quick play and just play whatever you want.
Well, and that's the thing. I'd be fine if it was in comp, but, like, that'd be annoying as fuck. It would probably ruin it for me if it was quick play. Oh, yeah. Say, like, I'm going in there, I'm like, okay, I want to try and learn a new character or something. I want to learn Mercy. Yeah. Because I normally don't. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, no, you can't have that. Yeah. It's like, well, okay, why am I even bothering playing this game then if I'm... Yeah.
If you can't play what you want. Yeah. Well, I think the other problem, too, is, usually MOBAs will have 50 to 100 characters.
Yeah, and this is...
29.
Well, especially because so many of them are just DPS. Like, if you get down to they start banning tanks and supports, I mean, that takes, like, a big chunk out because especially the supports and tanks have such a specific role. Like, you can kind of intermix the DPS a little bit if you want to.
Oh, yeah, easily.
But, like, if you need, like, a Mercy, like, where they're dealing so much damage that you have to have a full Mercy on your tank or whatever, and they take that away, like, there's no other character that can keep up. Like, maybe Moira, but, like... She's a totally different play style. Like, none of them are really comparable to each other.
Yeah, and I mean, especially if you get to the point, too, where, like, you end up... Especially with... Because I think there's 6 healers and 6 tanks, and that's it. So what if, both teams ban a main healer? And so now, okay, now you can only play Ana, which is one of the harder healers to play, or you just do 2 flex heals, and then you don't have enough.
And there's certain maps that you just can't really play Ana. Like, they're just too tight where you just can't get the distance to actually be effective.
Like playing her in fucking Rialto, it's miserable. Right. It's garbage.
So
I don't know. What do you think about that, Sureyya? Especially since I think typically when we play, I usually am our support person. Marty usually goes DPS, or you heal too. But I think of you mostly as our DPS.
Yeah, mostly for Symmetra.
And Sureyya, you usually tank, so I guess that would affect you too in the same way. It would affect me of possibly just cripplingly limiting your options for characters.
I don't know. I like the idea of just having it in comp because, like, I don't know. This has happened to us recently where we have our little strategies. Yeah. And then, like, once they figure out our strategies, then we have to switch over to a different character. So then that just kind of limits us and our ability to win. But it also makes us adapt. Yeah. And, like, assess the situation from a different perspective, I guess. Yeah. So I like that. And I'm totally down for it as long as it's, like, in comp, I guess.
I mean, the benefit, too, is it would force you to think with a little bit more strategy in a way, like, and it can create some, like, interesting things. Like, say there's a tight map where, one team you really want, like, a Reinhardt or whatever with a shield. And, if you can take that away, but they think, oh, maybe I should take away their Orisa, I mean, at least it'll keep both teams from possibly having, like, the same, strategies and team styles and everything.
I think Yeah, I definitely think there's pros and negatives too. Because I mean, it would be nice because it would also help shake things up. You know, so like I mean, right now, you know, you were saying that Overwatch is having a bit of a problem with Ashe, but I think it also has a real big Brigitte problem. Maybe not especially at like the sort of level that we play at, but I know higher up she's a real big issue because she's good at everything.
Right.
So it'd be nice to kind of have that cover so that when they do fuck up the balancing, you can kind of adjust it yourself. But at the same time, then that's a shitty fallback for them.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing I think is it'll hopefully create a little more dynamics in how the teams are put together.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like, you get like the same team every single time.
Oh yeah.
Like everyone picks the exact same fucking people.
Yep.
And it's just you're basically playing the same game over and over.
Yeah.
You know, the game really like Overwatch really changes when you have different heroes.
Yeah.
So
I think I would be kind of on the fence for implementing it in normal Overwatch, but one place I think it would be really cool to see it in would be professional. Because I know Marty, I don't think you watch any professional. Really. Sureyya watches a little bit because I watch it. But I think it'd be really interesting then because then it's just such on a hyper level of Overwatch where it would be a lot more useful too because they know what other teams can do. You know, and they know, okay, this team has a really good Tracer player. So if we shut that down, they're going to have to completely rework their shit.
Well, and it's good too. It'll force a little bit of like diversity in, you know, how, you know, we and them like you know, choose our mains basically. It'll force us to be a little bit more diverse.
Yeah.
You know, because like they got that really good Tracer player, and then all of a sudden he can't be Tracer. I mean, you better have a backup.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's one thing with lower level is it's like if it's at the start of the match and we're voting, I don't know who the fuck the other team's good at.
No, at that point, you just pick whatever you think would be rough on the map.
Or whatever just annoys you the most. You know, like, oh, I don't want to deal with May this game. I'll just ban May. Who the fuck cares?
That'd be nice.
Fuck getting rid of May. I'd rather get rid of Tracer. I wish Tracer just was not in Overwatch. She is so goddamn annoying.
Yeah, I don't know. When you play it, she feels so vulnerable, but when you're playing against her, it's just like...
it's just ridiculous. But I think that's good for Overwatch. Sureyya, your topic? I think you had a presentation prepared.
I don't have a presentation prepared.
You sure about that?
I'm just gonna give you some basics. We'll see how it goes from there.
Welcome to Sureyya's Metaphysics Corner.
Alright, so I like to consider myself kind of like into the dark stuff.
Yes.
Morbid stuff. Overall a gloomy person here. So my topic is about, I guess we could generalize it as a doomsday cult.
Alright, let me get my hat.
More specifically, the movement for the restoration of the 10 Commandments of God cult.
Okay. I don't think I've heard this one.
I don't think it's as big as, like, Heaven's Gate or the,
Scientology.
Scientology. Or, the other one.
Don't let Tom Cruise hear this.
The other one, I don't remember what the other one was. Let me see.
Did you hear about that? I know this is a bit of a tangent. But, I think her name's Leah Remini. Leah Remini?
I don't fucking know.
She does that science. She was the actress on King of the... And she was in Scientology, and then she got out, and now she's doing that award-winning show where she's, like, exposing Scientology secrets. And it was just, like, last week or so that she came out and was kind of shit-talking Tom Cruise in it. Because a lot of people, I think, tend to view Tom Cruise in it as sort of, like, you know, like an unfortunate kind of thing where it's like, oh, Tom Cruise is getting tricked, you know, or, like, he's trapped in it. Because, like, no one wants to hate Tom Cruise. But she was saying that, like, he's in it. Like, he's, like, best friends with the, whatever the fucking highest level guy is called. And, like, he's, like, in recruiting videos. Like, there's all these really cringy Tom Cruise recruiting videos you can watch online that were leaked.
Wait, hold on. Tom Hanks is a Scientologist?
Tom Cruise.
Oh.
No,
oh,
Tom
I thought you
Hanks
said
would never.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, no. No, Tom Cruise.
I just registered Tom Cruise as Tom Hanks.
No, Tom Hanks is a saint.
that would actually be a tragedy.
Or there was also stuff that came out about like how he has, you know, he's privy to like certain documents that only higher level people get. And then she shared one story where apparently the leader of it actually was in a meeting with people and threatened to call Tom Cruise and have them come beat them up.
Oh my god.
So apparently, like, Tom Cruise he's in it. Like, he is full-blown fucking in it. Like, muscle enforcer, he's totally sold. Which is really fucked up. Anyways, back to your 10 Commandments of the Scientology.
Yeah, we were talking about how they weren't as popular as, like, the Jim Jones one.
Yeah.
Where he did that entire mass suicide.
Yeah.
And killed children with arsenic, I think. And Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this one, the movement for the restoration of the 10 Commandments of God, is based in Uganda. It was formed in the late 80s. And it had 5 primary leaders. I don't want to say their names because...
Don't say the names. We don't need them.
Okay. So basically, they thought the world was going to end in 1999. Like
okay.
December 31st, 1999.
Or 2K.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
They ain't special.
Let's see. They were very heavy believers in obeying the original 10 Commandments.
Okay.
So, I am not fully prepared for this. I read this whole thing, but there's a lot of information and I don't know what's needed and what's not. Well, anyways, so they believed in the 10 Commandments so, like, hardcore that they, like, completely separated themselves, kind of, from the outside world and had their own little,
like an enclave going on?
Yeah, and their own, like, settlement.
Okay.
And, they really followed the 10 Commandments. So, the emphasis on the commandments was so strong that the group discouraged talking for fear of breaking the 9th commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And then, in order to talk, they would use sign language.
It's still talking.
It's still communication. See that?
I don't know.
Difference?
It's the most religious thing ever. Just nitpicking
Right?
the literal...
Right? Just being like, no, the way you want to do it is too easy. Fuck you, do it this harder way. Because you're dirty and you suck.
They had fast regularly, 1 meal on Fridays, 1 meal on Mondays. Sex was forbidden, and soap was also forbidden. There was no soap.
Well,
that's why no one wanted to have sex.
Yeah.
Could you picturing them doing sex? The green stink clouds from Sims filling the room, and they're just like signing frantically to each other as they're boning.
In the 10 Commandments, one of them is, thou shalt not woohoo.
Not even with a sheep between.
Yeah, and the leaders of this group kept saying that they were getting messages from God and shit.
Oh, of course they
typical
were. Yeah.
stuff like that. The reason why this cult came to be was because, I guess, during the time Uganda was going through, like, political and social turmoil.
Yeah.
As this Wikipedia article states. Because they had... I don't know who Idi Amin is. Amin. And then there was the AIDS pandemic. And then there was a Bush war going on in the country.
So are they still active?
From what I found, not really.
I mean, they probably didn't have any kids.
I was about to say, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like,
As of 2014, it was announced by the Uganda National Police that there were reports that one of the leaders was hiding in Malawi.
So they're like in hiding then.
Kind of, but the main thing is that I gotta fucking look through this. So they thought that the apocalypse would come December 31st, 1999, and then after January 1st of 2000 passed without anything happening, I guess their followers started having disbelief and started rioting, and they all these people preparing for the end of the world, they were selling off their properties, their homes, their cars, and pooling it all together in just kind of like in Red Dead.
Yeah.
Where it's just a group pooling of money. And people were getting pissed and they wanted their money back. So, in an effort to save themselves, the leaders, They established a new date, which was March 17th.
New apocalypse, everybody. This just in from thy Lord thy God.
It was March
Oh my
17th
God.
of 2000.
Yeah.
And before it, like a day or two before the 17th, there was a huge party at one of their... What's the word? I don't know what word. It's like a settlement, but it starts with a C, I think.
Colony?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I think we all know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they had a huge party at their settlement,
Their community or whatever.
and apparently they
Commune.
roasted
That's a good one.
they roasted 3 huge bowls and drank 70 crates of soft drinks.
Wait, what was the bowl?
They ate 3 bowls.
Like of weed?
No, like
No,
a
bowl,
cow.
like an actual
Oh,
bowl.
bowl. I thought you were saying bowl.
No, bowl.
Like, I was like, what do you mean they're just eating
They
bowls?
just smoked up a couple times and drank like 40 sodas each.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, these bowls?
It's like, it's the end of the world. I'm gonna drink a whole bunch of fucking Pepsi.
Well, the weird thing, like,
they could splurge. They got vanilla Pepsi.
I don't know how big Heaven's Gate or Jim Jones's followers were, but they got to about 5,000 people following them.
I don't know. Jim Jones is pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, that's 5,000, though. That's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, but they're like spread all around.
Yeah. I mean,
Uganda.
that was like the ridiculous thing about Y2K, though, was just how fucking widespread it was.
Well, and then after all the guests had arrived, there was an explosion, and the building caught on fire and killed everyone inside.
Oh no,
Every
it's the
single
apocalypse.
The leaders are like, it's a personal apocalypse. You read it too literally.
And like, to make it worse is that someone had purposely gone outside where they were and just nailed everything shut. The
It's probably the
windows,
fucking
doors.
leaders.
Yeah, that's probably it then. You know?
Yeah.
Several days before the party happened, one of the leaders was seen buying 50 liters of sulfuric acid. Like, that's not fucking...
That's not even subtle though.
Yeah, it's not
that should,
subtle.
like, fucking raise some flags.
Like, why were they all locked inside on this date when all the people inside owed them money?
So, there were 5 main leaders, and all were thought to have died in the fire. But
Bullshit.
What I said earlier, they believe 2 of them are in hiding, and one is thought to be hiding in Malawi. For a while, people thought it was a mass suicide, but after examining everything, it looked like it was like a mass murder conducted by the leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean,
Right?
they don't have to fucking pay back everybody and have a riot.
Alright, I need to... If someone wants to do some math... So, all 530 were killed.
Yep.
And then, 4 days after the church fire, police discovered hundreds of bodies at sites across southern Uganda. 6 bodies were discovered sealed in the latrine of the compound. That compound was the one where I was looking for. Compound, plus another 153 at another compound, plus another 155 at an estate where they had been poisoned and stabbed, and then another 81. Police stated that they had been murdered about 3 weeks before the church.
So, minus the hundreds, that was not a specific number, that is 925 people.
Okay. Here it says that the final death toll had settled at 924.
Fuck that, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. But I mean, like,
Yes.
that's awful. It's just...
They did kind of put themselves in.
Yeah, that's what I was debating whether or not I wanted to say. Is like, that sucks, and those people should definitely, be punished, and that's unacceptable. But at the same time, you were in a cult. Cults, name a cult that went well. Like, it's the reason cults aren't really...
Well, Cult of Personality. That's a good song.
I was gonna say The Room.
Well,
that's not a cult, though.
That's a cult film.
That's a cult film. That's completely different.
But it's got a cult following.
But it's different.
It's the same thing.
You don't have to be
It's the same thing.
indoctrinated to watch The Room.
We
Yes, you
don't
do.
live in a room compound
Yes,
where
you
I'm
do.
selling my house.
You recruited Marty and I. Even Rizal.
Yeah, it just that's. And I don't get why it keeps happening, like why people are so gullible to keep letting themselves get enraptured in that shit, like the 2012.
Yeah, I will see. The thing is, I think in first world countries like the U.S., I think it's just fucking. They want to hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see it in like, these third world countries where people actually don't have anything because they're looking for any possible source of like either meaning in life or any kind of
Direction.
Any direction or sense of community that can like provide for them.
Yeah, especially when education is much harder to come by.
Right, but there's no excuse in the fucking United States.
I mean,
to think, to freak out about shit like that.
Like with the fucking December, or the fucking 2012 apocalypse.
That was the worst one because at least the Y2K was like, okay, technology, computers, and shit. Like,
I can understand how that could be scary.
But but like, well, because that was still a real thing. I mean, it didn't set up nukes, but like, there was like an actual tangible problem.
Yeah.
But like, why 2012? Because of the fucking Mayan calendar that no one can fucking decipher anyway.
Right. And but that's when it ended. Yeah, because all the Mayans are fucking dead.
Because they had to stop at some point.
Yeah.
Like, do you see the calendar? It's a rock. Like it's a limited resource as far as space.
But then you still have people fucking selling everything and then bitching the next day like, oh, I lost my home. It's like, yeah, because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Why'd you sell your house? Because you thought you'd be dead.
Right. It's just
if everyone's dead, they're not going to need your house.
Yeah. Why even sell your house then? Like just.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's just so self-centered to me that every generation thinks that they're going to be the generation when the world ends.
Why would you want that in the first place?
Because then you're special.
Because they feel important.
You're the one. You're the one that has to suffer the crisis. You're the one that has to deal with it.
Oh, like us millennials are suffering through a crisis right now.
Yeah. Hey, it's a tragedy that we're closing down Applebee's everywhere. It's not because they're garbage. It's because we're just millennials.
Why don't we just spend more money?
Yeah, why don't we just spend more money, Marty?
But when you were in like a senior in high school, because you graduated 2012, right? Mm-hmm. Did your class ever talk about how the world's ending because we're graduating or anything like that? Because
did your class say that?
A bunch of people were like.
I want to be honest. I don't think my school really talked about it. They might have made jokes about it and stuff. I knew I was one of the people who made jokes about it.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Well, no, people weren't serious. They were joking about it, but saying, like, oh, we're graduating, so that's why the world's gonna end.
Oh, yeah, no, not that I remember.
That's
Maybe my school wasn't just as self-centered as your
Honestly,
school was.
Well, there was only like 90 people in my graduating class. Honestly, what was closer to the apocalypse during that time was probably like the fucking like swine flu.
Oh my god, that was scary.
Like at one point, there was me and like 2 other people in my class.
Yeah,
because like everyone else was fucking throwing up and shitting themselves.
Dude, fuck
I didn't get it.
I didn't either.
See, that's why you vaccinate people. I mean, they don't have a vaccine.
And then,
I mean, yeah, we have autism, but at least we're not shitting.
But hey, I saw The Predator. Autism is the next step of human evolution. We all got to get vaccinated so that we can progress, so we can all be autistic, and then the predators will come and they'll cause global warming to kill the planet so that they can inhabit it. Sorry, that was a shitty movie.
I really wanted to go off on an Alex Jones rant. Turn the frickin' frogs gay! Okay, we're not Alex Jones on this podcast.
Yeah, remember, we're not political. But every episode so far,
has gotten its head political.
Somehow we get there.
Well, it's hard to not get political with this kind of thing.
Well, and I feel like we ride a good line.
Oh.
We're not coming down on either side. We're just saying, hey, this fanatic is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't think we're trying to get into the details of it. Because, I mean, I know a little bit more about the politics of shit, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah. And I think I would hope that a large portion of conservatives could look at Alex Jones and think, okay, this dude's fucking mentally unstable.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to bring it back to this cult.
Yes.
It was shut down for a while because it was thought that they were kidnapping kids, using child labor, and it was very unsanitary.
It's probably because they didn't believe in soap.
Probably.
Yeah, and I mean,
then here's
kids.
the stupid thing, bringing it back to, like, government. The Ugandan government allowed it to reopen again. After all of those claims.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who knows what was going on there, right?
Well, and, like, going back to like why people probably get wrapped up into this kind of thing, it's just that it's your surroundings.
Yeah.
It's the type of government that you have, the type of people that you're living around, all the activities that are going around. So there was like the AIDS epidemic, and I think a lot of people blame like Africa for that, don't they? Like they're always blaming like some.
It's not an intelligent blame, but yeah, it's a blame.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
that's a very good way to put it.
But they were probably getting blamed, and AIDS is huge in Africa. At least like the southernmost part of the continent.
Yeah.
It's really huge. So it's just like you got people infecting other people going crazy, and you got like fucking bush wars apparently.
Yeah.
Happening around. It's just like people want to believe in something.
Yeah, I mean, if the Bushes start fighting each other, I'm fucking out. I'm done.
I don't think Sureyya would get too far.
Yeah,
there's that kind of thing that like I think people find comfort in.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't mean to keep taking it back to Scientology, but that's the cult I know the most about, and it is a cult. I don't think it can really be deemed anything else, realistically.
It stopped being a religious thing a long time ago.
And it's okay, whatever. But I mean, and going back to Tom Cruise especially is like, when you do try and think about how someone like him could get that deep in, I think a big part of it is he probably has layers upon layers of just positive people that just reinforce whatever the fuck he says because he's Tom Cruise.
Right. I mean, and like when you keep becoming more and more successful, like, and you're surrounded by those type of people telling you the same things. They kind of go hand in hand. You're conditioned to see like your success as like a result of that. And I mean, he's still an adult. He should be able to make fucking rational decisions.
Oh yeah,
for himself.
definitely.
So no excuse for him.
Yeah,
but
he's a piece of shit.
But it's like there is going to be subliminal conditioning. I think in any kind of situation like that, you're like, how could someone so successful still like feel like dependent on a community or something?
Yeah,
it's like, well, because if you surround yourself, and Hollywood's full of this.
Oh yeah.
But if you're surrounded by it, you start to think that's the way to success.
Yeah. Or I mean, and two things. One, in Tom Cruise specifically, there was that documentary that came out. I think it was in the late '90s about Scientology, and it especially focused on Tom Cruise. And one of the things that it showed was that whenever he leaves a building, 20 minutes beforehand, Scientologists walk the path he's going to walk to make sure there's nothing negative about Scientology that he can see. So, like, if there's, like, a newspaper somewhere, they'll cover it. They, like, get rid of people. They just completely sanitize his world of anti-Scientology.
Well,
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I mean, the big stars up there, the people that have, like, social push and, like, social, I guess, power.
It's that and the fuck you money.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is that they're trying to do... That's what gives them legitimacy, is people like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
People in the public eye, and they want to protect that at all costs. So, I mean, they're totally willing to surround him by positive reinforcement and, like, basically doing a Truman Show type of deal, I think,
And then my second one was going back to how, like, a lot of those higher up, like, celebrities and stuff get sort of echo chambers built around them. I can't remember his name, sorry, maybe you could look it up for me since you have the laptop. But the actor from the first Iron Man's, his friend, that disappeared after, I think it was like Iron Man 2 or something, where he was War Machine originally, and then he had to get recasted. It was Terry something.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Did you guys hear about his fucking math?
No.
Did you hear about Terryology? Did you hear about this?
You told me about it. You've told me like 2 or 3 times
one of the
before.
stupidest fucking things I've ever heard. So he made this claim that I don't think this had anything to do with him getting kicked out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But so he made this claim that he had a revolutionary math idea that he was calling Terryology.
Okay.
And this revolutionary idea was that 1 times 1 does not equal 1. 1 times 1 equals 2. And he said all the math that we have ever done is incorrect because 1 times 1 equals 2. And, he had said that he had vetted this with, like, close people for years and had worked on it. And then he went to a worldwide math convention to reveal Terryology. He got fucking laughed off the stage because his only excuse, or not his excuse, his explanation, was that 1 times 1 cannot be 1. because it is multiplication. So 1 times 1 must equal 2 because the square root of 2 is 1.
What?
Yes. None of that's correct. But, I mean...
Did anyone show him those little cubes you got with, like, the sticks of 10?
Well, and, like, you'd have to think the level of filters that would have had to have passed through for an average person.
Right. Like, any normal person would have brought it up to anyone and would have just been shut down immediately.
Yeah, and would have been just immediately corrected.
I'm using your laptop. There is a website called teriology.org.
It's an organization.
Can I click on that?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't want
It
your
says
computer.
1 times 1 equals 2.
Oh my god, there's even a picture of him.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Do the math. We've got all these different faces that want to come out.
There's at least 4.
at the moment, with a possible expansion to 432. But which one do you let out? Is it the person who's cool that you've mastered? Is it the excited little boy?
Could you imagine if you went to like a boutique ice cream parlor? They're like, we have all these flavors. There's at least 4. But possibly 432 of them.
Okay.
You'll just have to come find out.
There is literally nothing. It's just comments.
Dank.
Oh my god!
There's like 3 comments and a homepage.
Wait, no, it says 3 thoughts.
Oh, okay.
3 thoughts on do the math. Please stop driving yourself insane.
Oh my
Math is
god.
merely symbols representing computations that exist in nature. All you're doing is either changing the number value or changing the function of the multiplication and addition symbols. I don't understand.
My favorite reply is just...
And this is one of the sponsored ones.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is just a joke website.
Teriology is treatment of the skin. That's got to be a joke website.
This can't be real. Like,
You can click on teriology.
It's not secure.
Oh, but it's not letting me do anything.
No, this is just it. Is there anything else, like at the bottom?
That is
No,
it.
that's the whole website.
This is the entire website.
Probably
Oh, what?
fucking whip that up on WordPress in 2 minutes.
I like how these are at like 5 in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning.
someone's like, dang.
Yeah, so that's the danger of it. That's what you can very quickly spiral into, I think.
Well, and it's like, the thing is there's people out there that will hear this and they'll be like, well, someone said it, so yeah, it must be right.
Yeah, right?
You know, and the spread of misinformation is crazy right now.
Yeah.
So that's me.
Well, I think that does it for this week then.
I should call it Terryism.
Scary Terryism. Sureyya, it is your turn to pick the third and final
Sci-fi movie?
movie of our first science fiction fantasy rotation of movies. What is it?
We are going to be watching Doctor Who: The Waters of Mars.
Fuck! For those who aren't familiar, we will watch that movie within the next week. We will talk about it, air the episode on Monday. And then after we discuss that episode, we're going to discuss our favorites of the 3 we watched, which will be District 9, 1984's Dune, and now Doctor Who: The Waters of Mars.
Yes.
And then we will use a random generator on the internet to pick our next genre. And then we will go from there.
I'm hoping for rom-com.
Rom-com would be something else, man.
The next month and a half of rom-com.
Also, I would like to just say that technically The Waters of Mars is a movie.
Yeah.
It's a feature-length film.
It is, 62 minutes, I think?
A little over an hour.
Just barely comes in.
I like that. That'll make up for Dune.
Nice, sweet, short, and simple.
Yep. So if you want to keep in touch with the podcast, you can find us on SoundCloud or iTunes now. We finally got on there as the Deus Ex Cinema podcast. Or we also put the podcast and gameplay videos on YouTube under the channel Default White Guys. And we will be back next week.
Yup.